The City of Mantle, and it's on fire! Hello there, my Gummy Nice, and welcome back to the Echo Chamber. So, Rwby, Volume 7, Chapter 10. Okay, so, quick recap. Last episode, we got some nonsense. Yep, that's the recap for you. This episode, I'm going to assume, is going to be mostly action, because we are right in the thick of it. Everything's going down in Mantle. The citizens have kind of brought this on themselves a little bit somewhat, so I'm inclined to not actually give that much of a darn about them. Not really, because they know that panic and fear and stuff invites the grim. And the way that they and stuff are acting, just based off of baseless claims and assumptions. Now look, we know that's true, or at least somewhat true. Again, it's not really Atlas. We know that it's somewhat true. So yeah, baseless claims and stuff and baseless ideas in their head. So they really kind of like brought this on themselves. No offense about it. I kind of don't really care anything about the people in Mantle. I never did from the start. Okay, it's just this city in the middle of the sticks. Who gives a crap about it? I don't care about any homework. I hate when people do that. It's like, oh, but they made a World of Remnant episode where they explained everything about Mantle, or they made some third-party guide system. I'm like, I don't care. Explain the show. I have never once, like, point me to the episode where we hear anything about Mantle and actually like get to care about it. Like, we get to go into Mantle, we get to see it, we get to care about it. Even during like season, was it volume 4, season 4, where we actually go to Atlas, we still don't really get to engage in Mantle. I don't even remember hearing anything about Mantle. So yeah, I kind of care less. And now that I am getting into Mantle, now that I am getting to see that this whole conflict revolves around the idea of Mantle, okay, I'm like, yeah, I don't really care about any of these people. I don't really care about the city. It can burn for all I care. So, call me heartless, call me a douche, whatever. I really don't care. This city is atrocious, and I hope it burns to the ground. Anyway, people were running, screaming, and dying.
You wanna see me fall? Stephen Curry, how I ball. Gosha garments and a white 3 on my body. I'm an icon, man, and my girl about a 10.
I'm sorry, why are those people there? Kind of like touching up on the sequence, but really I wanted to go ahead and say, why are those people there? That didn't make no sense. Why? See? You guys want me to care about these guys. They're not smart. They're not smart. They've only proven that they're dumb. Whatever. Touching up on that sequence there, the only thing I would say I didn't necessarily like, I actually did end up liking the chase sequence, but the only thing I would say I probably really didn't like is that I felt like Blake looked a bit too stiff out there. I liked the good use of her powers and abilities, but it felt like something that was, repetitive, that we've already seen it before. We've seen it a dozen times, and again, she looked too stiff. It felt like they should have trampled over her, like all the Grims should have trampled over her immediately. I know there were some who caught up with her, but it didn't really feel like real. It felt like every time you see, like when the scenes would transition, like they were right on top of her, but then they were right behind her. It was kind of weird. And she just looked kind of like a polymorph, as I like to call them, basically stiff amoebas who just follow their basic binary code of ones and zeros. She looked like a straight up polymorph out there. And I was like, this is kind of weird. But other than that, the rest of it I thought was pretty cool too. Anyway, continuing on. Only because I know you guys are expecting it from me, and also because, yes, I want to do it. I missed his well, I didn't necessarily miss his last episode one, but at the same time, I just didn't want to comment on it. Why, Weiss? Why did you save him? Why didn't you just let him die? Now that all will be forgiven, again, that honor distinctly belongs to Robin now. Okay, that honor. I mean, even when I had it for Mero, it was only like kind of like I think it was like a halfway. You guys can let me know if it was like a halfway or not, but I think it was like a halfway. Like I said, somewhat would be forgiven. I don't think I said it would be the best series. I might have. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because Robin holds that spot, so it's been taken away from Mero. I mean, even Nora, it's been taken away from even Nora, who I'm looking at on the screen right now as the scene is starting to transition to her. But yeah, why she should have let him die. That was a stupid move on you. Stupid Weiss.
An ancient and terrible evil lies outside of our kingdom. It was responsible for the destruction of Beacon, the attack on Haven, and for the recent attacks on Mantle. This powerful force goes by the name of Salem.
He's doing it.
I'm sorry, I almost wanted to immediately skip it, and so far I kind of do, but I'm a trooper, and I don't want to miss any vital information that may come up that will be something that people would tell me in the comments. Hey, you didn't talk about this, or you didn't talk about that. But so far, I do have to stop it right here during Ironwood's little speech here. Okay, I love it, causing more panic, more fear, but at the same time, they really want to make it as though he was in the wrong the entire time, despite the several contradictions proving that he was in the right the entire time. But, I've already talked enough about that. I gotta love how they thought it was so brilliant of them to try to convey this point that even the Grimm calmed down for a second to hear his little speech, and then they realized, oh crap, what are we doing? We had to get back to actual people dying. This is insane. It's like, yes, always finally tell them the truth. Finally, Ironwood, why did you do the right thing? I mean, sure. I mean, practically half of these people, most of them were cheering you on. You were doing it. And they were presented with no new information that contradicted what you were telling them. And the fact that they were knowingly, openly keeping secrets from you as well. They were doing what they're criticizing and blaming you for. And we're supposed to look at them as heroes because they thought coming clean and coming the truth and were chastising you. We're supposed to look at them as the heroes when they were doing the exact same thing. But no. It's good when they do it. But it's bad when you do it. What is it called? Rules for me, not for thee. It's like, oh, he's doing it. Everything's gonna get better now. People are gonna stop panicking. And I love how that's not working, just like at all. And in fact, more people are panicking. More people are running. They're still getting crushed out here. It's absolutely amazing. So far, favorite episode. Okay, favorite episode. This is amazing.
Her minions have invaded our very city.
Arthur Watts and Tyrion Kalos. These men are the ones responsible for the recent murders in Mantle, and for sabotaging the heating grid. But we cannot let ourselves give in to fear and panic. That is what she wants. Instead, we must unite and fight back, together. Every single one of us!
All right, single file line. Place a hand on the shoulder in front of you, eyes forward, move! Show them how it's done, kids!
Where did you learn to do that?
Morning school route?
This, my friends, is why I was forced to divert resources from Mantle for the Amity Communication Tower. Amity Tower is now completed and ready to launch. It will re-establish all global communications.
The Colosseum remodeling was a communications tower? How did James get this past me?
The Council and I have decided to evacuate everyone in Mantle to Atlas. I'm withdrawing all defenses from Amity in order to assist with repelling the Grimm in Mantle.
We must put aside our differences and band together to defeat this threat. I fully support General Ironwood's plan.
And then they just quit. Oh, wow. Suddenly the Grimm stopped too. I did. By the way, I get the whole idea of Robin being there because they trust her word, blah, blah, blah. I gotta love, I didn't point out earlier, but that one guy who's like, oh, why isn't Ironwood doing something? Yeah, you mean the guy who you guys been hating on? You guys been saying has been oppressing you? Oh, please, sweet oppressor, come and save us. It's like with the whole defund the police movement that is going on. It's like, these liberal nut jobs are the first ones to call the police. It's like, no, you can't do that. You want them defunded. You want them gone. You want them out on the streets. You're going to call them? Really? You need their help to protect you from these radical ideas. I love this. I just can't think of a morning when I haven't woken up with a thought of killing every one of these fictional characters. Like, if I could find some way to inject myself into the show and just murder them all, I would do it. I would join. Salem, you have my vote. Salem, if you win at the end of this, I will be perfectly fine. I will be perfectly fine with that. I hope she wins. That's my end game. Salem, win. I don't care what stupid you do within however long they're going to continue this series. I don't care what you do. Win, girl. Win. Just win. I have had it with these people. I've had it. I hate everything about this show. I despise it. Let's continue on, so we can see how the Grimm have finally just stopped and how everyone suddenly calmed down now because they were told the truth. Oh, by the way, I didn't finish my point before we do get right back in. I get Robin being there because people trust her, but why did they need to? I mean, does everyone know about her semblance? And even then, even if everyone does, there's no reason to do it. What would be different from you not using your semblance to make sure he's telling the truth versus using the semblance and having to tell the truth when you already know that all of this is true? So, I mean, I don't know what the point of this is. Robin there alone would be enough because they're like, oh, now they're working together. When she's been his biggest opponent, right? She's been the most vocal opponent other than Jock. So yeah, I mean, whatevs.
Grimm should have destroyed our enemies, not made them friends!
Wait. Our tin soldier's heart has cost him his mind. You need to keep their attention on Mantle for as long as possible.
You want more chaos than a Grimm invasion.
If anyone on Remnant could deliver that, wouldn't it be you?
If you've made it to your local shelter, stay put. Help is on the way. And for those of you in Sector 17, I'll be seeing you personally.
Come to think of it, I do have an idea.
I mean, what's the point at this moment? What is the point? The Grimm are gone. I love how they suddenly just evacuate and disappear. They're like, oh, well, okay, yep, sure, we broke down everything. And by the way, the Grimm were never beholden. It's like inviting the Grimm, right? The Grimm naturally are going to attack you anyway. They don't care whether or not you're in fear in that very moment. They attack you anyway. The Grimm have never been beholden to just you being in fear, and suddenly when you stop being afraid, they just leave. Show it to me. Show me the episode where that was the case. Where even those who weren't in fear, like, again, I'm assuming that general fear and it's just like the huntsmen who are fighting against them. Sure, you can say, oh, well, they're like afraid or give me some psychobabble nonsense like, fear, blah, 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 blah. Of course I'm afraid. No, I mean like the fear in which they're trying to represent here, because all these people would still be afraid. I'm pretty sure they would all still be afraid by that logic because, oh, you just got told there's a big bad who's trying to kill you guys all, who's trying to kill all you guys and is responsible for all this nonsense. And then it's like, what? She was able to get into the city? She could wipe out my family? Blah, 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 blah. There's so many reasons to be afraid still. Where was it that suddenly that stopped? Just because people stopped being afraid. It's like the Grimm are in. The Grimm are in. You guys are still suffering. You should be getting mauled and killed right now. Tyrion's absolutely right. They should have destroyed them. But now even they're like, oh, well, you know, I guess he's going to do more damage to the Grimm invasion. It's okay, whatever. Nothing matters. It's all dumb. Who cares? I just love it. Great job, Grimm. So convenient.
Get in! Get in!
Thank you, show, for proving me right. Where were they then? Where were the Grimm? Joe? You know what? No. This makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. I love it. I love it. Love it. In truth, this show, okay, this volume, pretty much. Forget the show as a whole, because there is good about the show as a whole. Okay? And there are 3, count them, 3 perfectly good seasons of this show. So yeah, forget the show as a whole. Just this volume had no chance at ever being good. No chance.
Dangerous.
I'm sorry, Penny. Why aren't you using the fuck off Kamehameha laser that literally stopped that thing dead in its tracks and could easily like bisect it? Why aren't you using it? Is that against your functionality? Like you only get one shot? Like I mean, you flew over here this whole time. You thought we were gonna make a big entrance by like killing it and chopping it in half, which again wouldn't be too out of the question for you to be able to do. Again, if I'm remembering correctly, in her reappearance debut episode, she actually did like use like a laser or whatever to kill like a whole bunch of Grimm in like one shot. If I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but my whole point is she was using it then instead of just wasting it. If it is like it's like causing me to have to recharge my batteries. And why not use it to just instantly murder that thing instead of fighting it like this? That makes no sense. Come on! Come on! Come on! That's not enough, but come on! Alright, so I want you guys to, like, look at your screen in this moment, because I ain't gonna lie, man. And for everything I say about the show, when they do good character design, they do good character. Alright, so I want you guys to, like, look at your screen in this moment, because I ain't gonna lie, man. And for everything I say about the show, when they do good character design, they do good character design. I had to give them that because, man, oh man. I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan of Harriet, but I can't lie, bro. Man, my girl's thicker than the goddamn Great Wall up in here, okay? My girl is extra thick. I mean, bro. Her and Mrs. Schnee are pretty much the 2 thickest women in this volume. Like, it's just, it's unreasonable. It's unreasonable. I mean, look at this cake. Look at your screen. Look at this cake. You cannot tell me that you wouldn't bite off a piece of that voluptuous, delicious, god damn, juicy sirloin steak. Good Lord bless you. And before somebody says, didn't that right there just contradict your point? No, it didn't. Because she literally aims, thanks to Rwby's stupid plan. I have no idea what Rwby's plan is, but it was something dumb. That's what she went with. So she it's like, even if it does need a recharge, the point is, she got to the recharge. And that's what she decides to do. Hit the armored part of his body, and even then, it was literally burning away at the tusk, showing that if she had kept it up, and it doesn't look like it was straining her, she wasn't struggling, she had just kept it up, she could have broke through the armor and instantly killed it. So you tell me you didn't use that to, like, bisect this part where it's not covered in armor?
This will certainly do the trick. Although I wouldn't exactly call it finished.
Arthur Watts. Welcome.
It's a trap!
You know, James, this place has always been a technological marvel. Truly. Even before you went and did all this. The different types of dust, the biome system, and of course, everything that goes into controlling them.
You always were a pain in the ass.
At the risk of sounding cliche, James, I won't be going down without a fight.
I'm not going to lie, I've always wanted to see Arthur fight, so this may actually end up being exciting. Great. This shitty-ass episode decided to entice me. Now I have to continue. Yay! Fuck. And that was the end right there, guys. So, to be entirely frank with you, that was just a continuation of more of the same. Yes, another bad episode under the books, but like I said, it did entice me, and I was afraid that it was going to go over and to carry me in the next episode, but yes, it's going to carry me in the next episode. And I actually do kind of want to see that fight, because I don't think we really get to see Ironwood fight all that much either. I mean, we get to see him, like, duke it out, like, during, like, the Fall of Beacon, but not really to extent where we get to see his full capabilities, in my opinion. So, yeah, this will be nice. I'd actually get to see him go down, and I've always wanted to see Arthur fight, so I think this all will work out great. I think that no matter what happens, I mean, it's kind of weird, of course, obviously, that Arthur just has full control of this stadium like this, even though it was like he said himself, something that slipped right under his nose, and suddenly he just has the access in order to be able to do it. I mean, I guess you could say that's a really great assumption on his part, and it just happened to be true, which is kind of a big giant failure on Ironwood's part, and, without it being finished, without putting in some safety recalls against that, Ironwood even baiting him to bring him here is also kind of like a dumb move on his part, but whatever. Nothing matters. Who cares? Yeah, so other than that, yeah, just pretty all-around dumb episode. You guys know how it is. It's Rwby at this point. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.